Welcome back to another video on how to use the Toronto Police's Open Data Catalog. In this video, we will learn how to insert the data that you've downloaded into ArcMap. Let's start off by opening ArcMap. Once you open ArcMap, your screen should look something like this. Up here you have your tools, and to the sides you'll have your layers. Let's start by adding our auto theft layer. Up here is the Add Data button. Go ahead and give this one a click. Then you'll try and locate where you saved your auto theft file. It should look something like this. Then click Add. After you added it, take a look and make sure that it looks like this. Now we're going to add in our Toronto neighborhood boundary file. Go ahead and back to the Add Data button. Give it a click. Now let's locate our neighborhood file. Go ahead and click Neighborhood's shapefile, and then click Add. Now we have the auto thefts that occurred in Toronto on top of the Toronto neighborhood boundary file. Let's go ahead and change the color of the auto thefts. To do so, you can right-click on the point or double-click. Once you right-click, a little pop-up should show up like this. Let's just change it red for the purpose of this tutorial. Great! Now, let's also change our neighborhood file. Go ahead and give it a right-click. And let's change it to purple. It should look something like this. Great! Now, let's try and make a map. To do so, we'll have to change the view from Data View to Layout View. It should look something like this. But we don't want it to look like this. We want it to be landscape. So, in order to change that, we'll go over to File, and then we'll hit Page and Print Setup. Your screen should look something like this now. Where it asks you for the orientation, from Portrait, let's change it to Landscape. Hit OK. Now we're going to resize our map so that it fits within the frame. Below the dotted line, so just in case you want to print, you can, and it won't be cut off. It should look something like this. But now we notice that our map is a little too far. So let's change the map scale. To do so, we'll go up here, where it says Map Scale. Click the drop-down menu, and click 1 by 250,000. Then we're going to adjust our map so that it's in the center. And it should look something like this. Now, let's go ahead and add a title, a legend, a north arrow, and a scale. To do so, we'll go up to the Insert button. A drop-down menu should appear. Go ahead and hit Title. Now, what would we like to name our map? Well, we want our map to represent what it's showing, and where it's happening, and the year. So, we'll go ahead and name it Auto Thefts in the City of Toronto. Because the first part is what the map is showing and where it is happening. Now the year, well, since all this data is from 2014 to 2019, we'll put 2019 as the most recent. And then we'll hit OK. Great. So now let's just adjust our title so that's at the top and doesn't cover any data. If you see that your title still covers data, go ahead and adjust your map a little bit. Now let's insert our north arrow. For the purpose of this tutorial, we'll select the first one, but don't be afraid to choose any one of your liking. Next, we'll insert a legend. Now, so because we have two variables, our auto theft points and the neighborhood boundary file, we'll need to have both of them in our legend. So go ahead and leave it as it is and hit next. The name of our legend should represent the points. So auto thefts in Toronto. And hit next. Go ahead and add a border, preferably 0.5. And next. And finish. There you go. We can go ahead and get rid of the underscore in our auto theft name by hitting the auto theft twice in the table of contents. There you go. Now, lastly, let's add our scale. We'll choose the first one for this tutorial and hit OK. Now we notice that our scale is actually in miles. But here in Canada, we use kilometers. So go ahead and double click your scale. Go to division units, hit the drop down, and go ahead and select kilometers. But now we also notice that the spelling is also incorrect. So you'll just hit the label box and change the spelling. And then hit OK. We're also going to move our scale just a little bit, just so that the numbers are whole numbers. Amazing. Now your final map should look something like this. Thanks for watching.